Hello, it's Jennifer from heysealemon. It seems to be back to school season on YouTube, and honestly I am still in summer mode, but I know a lot of you want to get a head start on making your DIYs for going back to school, and in this video I will show you how to make some back to school inspired DIYs and desk accessories. In case you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I upload something new every week, and there will be more back to school related videos coming up, so you don't want to miss any of those. And be sure to hit that like button if you like this video. And if you feel like going on a back to school video binge, I have a whole playlist full of those ideas and DIYs, so you can check that out right here, and I will also link it down below. And even if you're not going back to school, you can definitely make your own version of these DIYs because a lot of them can be used to customize and organize your workspace. Comment below and tell me which one of these is your favorite, and let's get into it. First up, I'll show you how to make this easy paper organizer. You can recycle a cereal box for this, and make sure that it's large enough to fit your paper. Using a piece of paper for reference, you can mark where you want the diagonal opening to go. Draw out a diagonal line, flip the box, and then use that line as a guide to draw lines on both sides of the box. Then on the other side of the box, draw another diagonal line that matches up with the lines you made on the sides. Now cut off the top of the box using those lines that you made as a guide. You can use a craft knife or scissors for this. And now you have a paper organizer box, and if you want to make it look a little bit nicer, you can use duct tape or acrylic paint and decorate the box. I'm going to wrap mine in this pattern duct tape, and making it look seamless, sort of, by matching up the pattern of the duct tape on each piece. Here's one side covered, and I left the ends so I could later go in and cut them in a straight line. Then I can fold all of the ends over, which gives a cleaner look on the inside of the box. Repeat that method of wrapping the tape around all of the sides, and here is my DIY paper organizer. This can be used to sit on your desk and hold all of those loose sheets of paper instead of them being scattered on your desk. You could also try gluing decorative paper around the box if you don't want to use tape. This really didn't take too long to make, and I think the results look like a paper organizer you could buy from the store. Next, I'll show you how to make this easy cactus DIY pencil organizer. You can recycle paper rolls for this, and the height of paper towel rolls works well with pencils. I cut mine to make 3 different sizes of holders, and you can use as many rolls as you want. I glued all of them together with hot glue, and for the base I used an extra scrap of cardboard from the cereal box, which I just used, traced around the shape of the holders on the base, and cut that shape out. Then I used hot glue again to glue the rolls to the base. After the glue is dry, you can paint the organizer, and I'm using acrylic paint. I first used one color of green all around the entire organizer, and painted the top portion on the inside. After that's dry, then you can make it look more like a cactus. I'm doing this by painting vertical lines of a darker shade of green on each roll. Then on the left of each line, I painted rows of cactus needles. You can of course paint this in any way you want or make it more realistic. After the paint is dry, this organizer is ready to use. This is a fun way to organize not only pencils, but some scissors, markers, paintbrushes, whatever you want to keep on your desk. And perfect decor for those cactus lovers out there. For another fun way to organize your pens, try this glitter DIY pencil case. I'll be using 2 quart-size slider bags for this, and I think it's better to have a bag with a slider closure. Since we want this case to be clear, if the bags have a printed graphic on it, you can easily take it off with some nail polish remover. I did that to both of the bags, and now using one, I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom so that I have a shorter pencil case. You can make your case any size you want. I personally like it when they are just a little bit shorter. Now using clear shipping tape, put a piece just below the closure. Then place another right below it. Flip over the bag, and make sure you're doing this on a surface where the tape can peel off. Now you're going to slightly fold the sides in. It doesn't have to be very much, it's just so that it fits better into the other bag. So you're slightly folding over the sides and pressing down the tape. And the sides should look somewhat angled like this. Now to close the bottom that I cut, I'm using another piece of tape, pressing half of it down on the end, flip over the bag, and press down the other half. This will seal the bottom of the bag so nothing falls out. Then cut off the excess tape on the sides. And adding those layers of tape can make your case thicker and more durable. Now we're going to use the bottom half of the other bag to make the outside of the case. I'm going to cut the second bag right about here, and you just want enough of the bag so that it sits just below the closure. Now put the case into the bag so that it forms a sleeve around the case. Then you can fill that sleeve with your choice of glitter or confetti. I poured a combination of these on both sides of the case. Now use another piece of clear tape to seal the sleeve. I taped just along the top, flipped it over, pressed down the excess tape, and then put an extra piece on top of that to seal the whole thing. And store your pens, pencils, whatever you want on the inside of the case. So now you can see there's a layer of dry glitter on the outside of the bag, which can move and shake around, and it will not get into your supplies that are on the inside of the case. If you're tossing this into your backpack and you want your case to be more durable, you can put extra pieces of clear tape around it. And if I had this when I was in school, I think I would be staring at it all the time and shaking around the glitter. Next, here's how to make a colorful tiered rainbow notepad. I'll be using letter-size cardstock paper in rainbow colors. I got 4 sheets of each color and cut them in half. This will give you 8 sheets of each color and make your notebook a more compact size. I cut the rest of my paper in half. I also cut a piece of cardboard in the same size for the back. Now to make the tiered effect, I grouped all of the colors in the order of the rainbow, so my next set of pages I put on top, and I decided to cut a 1/2 inch off of the bottom. So now when the orange is stacked with the red and the backing, it's a 1/2 inch shorter than the bottom. And then for the color on top of that, I did the same thing except I cut off 1 inch instead. Then when the yellow is stacked on top of the orange and red, you can see that the notepad has a tiered effect on the bottom. So each color is cut off in increments of a 1/2 inch. And just for your reference, to take the complication out of it, you can follow this guide and cut each of your colors in this way. So red has nothing cut off, orange has a 1/2 inch cut off, yellow has 1 inch cut off, green has 1.5 inches cut off, blue has 2 inches, and purple has 2.5 inches. I cut all of the paper in this way and then stacked all of them together on each side so that the notepad is even, and now I'm going to glue this edge of the notepad. Place the edge on the end of a table and hold it in place by putting a book or a weight on top of it. Since the pages are meant to be removed, you can use regular school glue for this, and I'm applying it with my finger. It's just easier, but you can also use a glue brush. Put a layer of glue along the edge, and once that dries, you can put a second layer of glue. When that's all dry, then your notepad is ready to go. The tiered effect is optional. You could just leave your paper all in the same size, but I think it adds a really nice pop of color on your desk. You could also put this in your folder or backpack, bring it along with you to write notes on colorful paper, and remove the note when you need a fresh new page. Next up, here's how you can DIY your own custom mouse pads. I'll be using fabric recycled from this shirt, and you can also buy fabric for this project. And a tip, if you go to thrift stores or secondhand stores, a lot of children's clothing comes in fun, colorful patterns. First, I'm turning the shirt inside out and cutting out an area which I'm going to work with. On the back of the fabric, I'm going to put a piece of iron-on adhesive sheet. This usually comes in a big roll, so you can make a lot of projects with it. There's a paper side and a textured side with the adhesive. Put the textured side down on the fabric, and I'm going to base my mouse pad shape with this bowl that's about 8 inches. I'm cutting out a piece of the adhesive that's about that size, and you can make your mouse pad square, round, any size or shape you want. Following the instructions that came with the adhesive, you want to iron it onto the back of your fabric. I cut off any excess of the fabric, and now for the material on the bottom of the mouse pad, I'm using shelf liner. This usually comes in a large roll as well, so you can make multiple mouse pads with this. It has a texture that's similar to a mouse pad, and it has a good grip so that it stays on your desk. Cut off a piece for your fabric, then peel off the paper side of the adhesive. Place that side on top of the shelf liner so your fabric is right side up. Then, following the instructions that came with the adhesive, iron those two pieces together so that they are completely bonded. Let it cool for a bit and then trace your bowl or shape on top. You can also trace this on the bottom of it in case you don't want any marker or pen showing on the top of your mouse pad. Then, using that as a guide, cut out your shape. Here's my final mouse pad, and I did the same process to the other piece of fabric with the birds on it. You can also try different colors of shelf liner if you want a different color on the bottom of your mouse pad, but I really like how both of these turned out. I think this DIY method makes it look the closest to a store-bought mouse pad, and the shelf liner grips to your desk just like a common mouse pad does. And once you have the materials, you can make multiples to add decor to your desk in your favorite patterns or colors. I hope you found this video helpful and you try one of these out for yourself. And if you do, I would love to see your project pictures, so share those with me on my social links and add a hashtag #heysealemon. If there's a DIY you want to see on this channel, leave any requests in the comments below. If you're going back to school, tell me in the comments below when school starts for you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, heysealemon. I will put a couple of other back to school related videos right here. These links will be in the video description below. And if you're going back to school, good luck, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!